An industrial lathe shearing through cold steel operates under extreme physical violence. Hundreds of pounds of force isolate onto a single point of contact, stripping away layers of metal at high RPMs. Yet the entire operation, the power draw of the machine, the heat generated, and the survival of the equipment, is governed entirely by the microscopic geometry at the exact point where the metal breaks. Strip away the massive machinery, and a cutting tool is essentially a highly engineered wedge. As this wedge drives into the workpiece, it forces the metal to shear and flow upward as a continuous chip. The orientation of this wedge is defined by the angle of the cutting face relative to the vertical axis of the workpiece. This measurement is labeled the rake angle. By tilting this cutting face, engineers configure the tool into one of three primary geometric states: a positive rake, a zero or neutral rake, or a negative rake. Selecting the exact degree of this tilt is the foundational optimization problem in manufacturing. Engineers must calculate the precise angle that balances efficient cutting against catastrophic tool failure. Intuition suggests that a sharper tool is always a better tool. A sharp blade slices easily, requiring less effort to push through material. But industrial cutting is not slicing. The tip of the tool is subjected to severe mechanical forces: shear stress as the metal sucks or tears, kinetic friction as the chip drags across the tool face, and rapid thermal buildup from the friction. As the tip of the wedge becomes narrower and sharper, it loses physical mass. The structural ability of the tool to absorb those intense localized forces drops exponentially. This creates a strict mechanical paradox. Designing a tool to minimize the resistance of the cut simultaneously maximizes the physical vulnerability of the tool itself. Because of this paradox, operations are bound by machinability limits. Machinability is the degree of ease with which a specific metal can be cut without breaking the equipment. The physical properties of the workpiece must always dictate the geometry of the tool. There is no universally ideal tool geometry. A perfect cutting edge is simply the one engineered to survive the specific physical forces of the metal sitting in front of it. A tool with a positive rake angle has a cutting face sloping away from the inner edge, creating an acute, sharp tip. This drastically reduces cutting forces and machine power as the metal chip shears cleanly and glides smoothly up the sloped face. That smooth, continuous flow carries a major operational benefit. It prevents a built-up edge. A built-up edge occurs when extreme friction causes smeared metal to pressure weld directly onto the cutting tool. But the positive rake has a fatal structural flaw. The acute angle leaves very little physical mass backing up the cutting edge. If that fragile tip hits a sudden spike in mechanical load or strikes a microscopic hard inclusion in the metal alloy, it lacks the material strength to absorb the shock. The edge simply snaps off under the pressure, shattering the tool and ruining the cut. A positive rake yields maximum cutting efficiency, but it demands a highly predictable, low-force environment to survive the operation. Conversely, a negative rake angle features a cutting face that slopes away at the outer side. The result is a thick, blunt tip with an obtuse included angle. Adding that massive wedge of backing material exponentially increases structural strength and shock absorption capacity. But the cost is severe. The blunt geometry generates massive mechanical resistance, drawing significantly more power and driving up friction and heat at the impact zone. Instead of slicing cleanly through the metal, the thick edge acts like a bulldozer. It plows and forcefully pushes the material away. This brute force plowing produces a counterintuitive benefit. The extreme high pressure physically burnishes the metal. Burnishing is a process where the surface is plastically deformed, ironing out microscopic peaks and smoothing the final finish of the workpiece. Operating a blunt tool is a violent, high-temperature reality. It intentionally abandons efficiency to secure the brute force survivability required for the toughest industrial alloys. Sitting directly between these extremes is the zero or neutral rake. Here, the cutting face is perfectly perpendicular to the cutting edge. Its primary advantage is logistical. A perfectly square tool is much simpler to manufacture and significantly easier to resharpen on the factory floor. Performance operates in the middle ground, drawing less power than negative rakes, but lacking the efficiency of positive ones. Because the face is flat, the curling metal chip rubs aggressively against the exact same static point during continuous operation. This localized friction causes a specific failure mode known as cratering. Cratering occurs when the constant rubbing gradually hollows out a small bowl shape directly into the face of the tool, eventually compromising the edge. The zero rake serves as the functional baseline. It is deployed in utilitarian applications, where neither extreme sharpness nor extreme durability is the driving priority. Out on the factory floor, the choice between these three geometries is never arbitrary. The metallurgy of the workpiece strictly dictates the angle of the tool. This chart displays the recommended rake angles used by manufacturing engineers. It cross-references specific base materials with common machining operations, like turning, drilling, and milling. Look at the data for highly ductile soft metals like aluminum and copper. Ductility is a material's tendency to deform and stretch under physical stress without fracturing. Aluminum requires extreme geometry. The specifications call for a 12 to 25 degree rake in turning, up to 35 degrees in milling, and a full 40 degrees positive rake in German operations. Because ductile metals are soft, they tend to stretch and smear under pressure rather than break clean. They require an exceptionally sharp, acute edge to slice through the structure and separate the chip. Because aluminum is soft, mechanical resistance pushed back into the tool is minimal. The fragile positive tip easily survives the low-force operation without shattering. Now compare that to materials on the absolute opposite end of the mechanical spectrum, like titanium and gray cast iron. The geometry requirements drop instantly. For these metals, engineers specify rake angles resting between 0 and barely 6 degrees. These are exceptionally hard, tough, or brittle materials. When a tool drives into them, the atomic structure resists, generating massive mechanical feedback and thermal shock. If you took the highly efficient 25-degree aluminum cutting tool and drove it into a block of cast iron, the razor edge would shatter upon impact. It lacks the mass to absorb the resistance. Engineers specify thick, blunt geometry for hard metals to ensure the equipment survives the shift. They gladly trade the efficiency of the cut for the structural integrity of the wedge. Reading a machining data table is not about rote memorization. It is the process of matching a tool's exact structural failure limit to the specific hardness of the metal it must conquer. A computer numerical control, or CNC, machine can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and spin with perfect precision, but its entire function relies on the microscopic wedge at the point of contact. The physics dictate a strict compromise. Sharpness produces cutting efficiency, while bluntness guarantees tool survival. You cannot maximize both. Manufacturing engineers never seek the sharpest tool in the shop. They calculate the precise geometric compromise required for the specific density and shear strength of the metal in front of them. By engineering the rake angle, the act of cutting metal moves from a manual trade into a highly predictable, optimized science of materials and physics.
Thanks for watching. Please visit the channel for more content and don't forget to subscribe and like if it was helpful. Comment if something is wrong.